Okay, I think this is day 6, or yeah, probably day 6. Um, I've definitely been actively procrastinating. I've been spending a lot of time reformatting my ingredients instead of doing the most important thing that I need to do today. And I don't know why I'm hung up on it, but I need to do it. And I find other tasks more important to do than the most important thing, because that's procrastination for me. But I tried the plantain experiment. So this morning I had one plantain and chopped it up, and I didn't even finish all the chips from that I made from that. I kind of grazed on them, and then so now I'm making another batch, and this could be for lunch. I might eat all of them. I might eat half, but just one per meal, I feel like it's going to just slow me down. And I also discovered accidentally that I was thinking the thinner the slice, the more the crunch, but it's not. You can still get crunchy even if they're thick. If I cook them on a slower heat, originally I was cooking them at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. And then like flipping them over, and then for another like 5 minutes. But this time I had it at a lower heat at 350, and then cooking them for about 15 minutes, um, and then flipping them, and then cooking them for another longer 15 minutes. And I, instead of using olive oil, because you're not really supposed to cook olive oil on high heat, it's bad for you. I went to the store and bought some safflower oil. I know this is backwards for selfies. I'm not a camera person. I gotta figure out all those things sooner or later. Anyway, I got safflower oil, and that's a high heat oil, which is better and prevents oxidation, things like that. Creates less anti-inflammatory response in the body when you have oils that aren't oxidized. It's really not healthy, I think, to have oils that oxidize. So um, olive oil is a very sensitive oil. You have to kind of treat in a very careful way, or you could be dealing with an oil that isn't goes rancid, and that's not good. But anyway, I'm on another tangent. I'm not a scientist, so somebody will tell me if I'm way off, but that's what I remember in terms of heats and oils, just to be more mindful of those things. Um, Hence why you should buy olive oil in dark bottles. They're more protected from oxidation and such. Anyhow, I'm going to try doing some seasoning on these. I was only using salt before, but these are going to be a little more seasoned. I often, when I go to like a cheesesteak place or a chicken place where they do seasoned fries, and if I like the seasoning of the fries, or even like Five Guys, if I like the seasoning of the fries, instead of them actually giving me the seasoning directly, I would ask for it on the side, and they usually don't tell nobody, but they usually give you too much. Way too much. So instead of throwing all this extra seasoning out, I save it, and then I can season fries at home with it. So I get that same like flavor, but just made at home. I don't tell them to give me too much. They just do. I mean, look at this. I've used this for like 5 dishes already, and it's still not done. Oop, I'm spilling it all over my stuff. Okay. But yeah, so you're getting, this is probably like an eighth of a seasoning bottle. But the workers don't know, bless their hearts. And they're just being generous because they don't know how much seasoning. I mean, could you imagine if I use all the seasoning on one set of fries? I'd kill myself. That's crazy. They don't know, bless their hearts. So anyway, I'm making the best use of it. So I'm sprinkling over this batch, and I'm even just taking pinches, just pinches, and putting it on my plantains. I also put these on potato wedges too. Um, so yeah, it's really good seasoning. I only do this with the seasonings I like. Not everybody can season in these fast food places. So I was like, well, I can still get the fast food vibes without the fast food. Yeah, so I'm gonna put these. I think I put some cracked pepper on. I got a little seasoning here, but give it a little extra cracked pepper on it too. Just a little change up from what I had this morning, which was just plain seasoned with just salt only. I used Himalayan pink salt. You know, I could be a salt snob at times. Like, ew, iodized salt. No. Kosher salt only. But yeah, I just used the pink salt. I do have kosher salt as well. I don't use iodized salt. Try to stay away from that stuff. And I used to have truffle salt. Man, but it was like $20 for a tiny jar that was about this big. I ain't going to spend $20 for a little jar of truffle salt. I'm tripping. But every once in a while, when I want to feel fancy, I'll buy it. All right, so I'm put that in the oven for 15 minutes. It's just a snack thing. Now I realize this is a crutch to get me through week 1. I will probably let it go by week 2. Like, next time I go to the grocery store, I'm not getting any more plantains. I did buy a sack of potatoes. I probably will do potato wedges as well. Not French fries. I'm not allowed to have French fries. I'm not allowed to have potato chips. So if I can get the crunch right on a thick wedge, because I still want that ability to crunch. I like the salty, crunchy experience of a snack. And so if I can get a salty, crunchy snack that is not too, I feel like nuts can be salty and crunchy, but they're so dense, and it's not the same vibe. It's something about the light. I don't know. Maybe it's just the carb. I don't know, because nuts are more protein and potatoes are more carbs. Something about it. And then people say, well, carrots are crunchy and celery is crunchy, but carrots are sweet, in my opinion, even raw carrots. And I don't want sometimes I just want a salty without the sweet. And celeries are salty, but I don't really like celery enough to be just eating it raw. You know, I usually dip it with something. And most dips, I'm not really into. I'm not too much of a chips and dip somebody. Well, I'll do that for nachos. So I could do like celery. I know when I'm doing raw vegan, I do something like a celery and raw zucchini, raw squash, kind of like salsa thing. And I like to use the zucchini, the green and yellow, the yellow squash and the green zucchini as like chips to snack and dip and snack. I usually do this with like a hummus or a tahini. I use like a tahini. I season the tahini with a nutritional yeast to kind of give it a cheesy vibe, and like it has a runny nacho thing going on, and put some jalapenos, and then I make some pico de gallo from scratch. I mean, it's like my own vegan nachos, my vegan raw food nachos. Anyhow, I'll show you that when I get to that point. But I guess my point is trying to find things that I could still enjoy even under these restrictions, under these rules. The bigger question for me is, can I learn to love it enough to replace the real thing? Can I make a compromise in the lifestyle so that I can give up those things, or just eat it in moderation? That's the thing I'm contemplating, and just getting really honest with myself. You know, if I was better at food prepping, if I was better at meal planning, where I always had comfort snacks on deck, but healthy comfort snacks on deck. Like, if I could always have my favorite healthy comfort snack on deck, I think that would help. But it's really about me managing the stress eating and really being real with my emotions and not eating for comfort in the first place. I love food, obviously. I'm a foodie. So that's not going to change, but maybe a new relationship with food. Like a mindful relationship with food. But and I'm supposed to be doing intermittent fasting in the middle of this. Like, don't eat before 9, don't eat after 9. I have not been successful at that yet. I have not put in my exercise plan for this yet. I'm just trying to get my foods thing together, and it's been a struggle. So I'm doing this now, still trying to cook everything for meal plan week 1. And then if I could make all the meals from week 1, 2, 3, and 4 all the way in advance, so I just unpack it and eat it, life would be so much easier. And maybe I'll get to that point. I just am not there yet. So just the meal prepping, the planning, the making time for it, and then on top of this, just also juggling regular life stuff has been my challenge. So, I talked to my mom yesterday. She's going to allow me to help her out more. She's been very, prideful, like, I got this, no, I got it. And she's been doing that to me for years, but after these recent situations, she's finally like, yeah, I need your help. Okay, yes, please take this from me, because I'm struggling. And so, I literally had to wait for her to be like, okay, yes, I can let you help me, because for the longest, Mom, I'm here to help you, but I can't help you if you don't tell me what's going on. And you gotta let me know what's going on so I can be of help. She would wait until everything is really, really bad to finally say something. And when she finally says something, it's not like asking for my help. It's more like, I gotta figure out how to do this. I'm like, Mom, why didn't you just tell me? I would have just given you the money to do this, and so it's a process. So we're finally getting to that next step of her finally allowing me to be further into her world and start really managing more of her finances and stuff, because she is digging herself in a hole that's kind of crazy. And have my siblings also help with that too. Yeah. So that's it for now. I'm going to make the meatballs today, and I got the tomato sauce. I already made the spaghetti squash, so that will be my dinner, or maybe my lunch, because I haven't had lunch yet. So I will probably make that and eat some of that for lunch, and make the salads, and probably have the soup later on tonight. Okay, see you tomorrow.